What's good, my brothers? It's your boy Sal Speaks, tapping back into the Semen Retention Network. Shout out to all the brothers out there retaining. Shout out to my brother Steel. I see you, my brother. Shout out to all the brothers out there. Shout out to brother Neo. Shout out to brother Dipsy. I see you all retaining, my brothers. Your journeys have all been inspiring me tremendously. Seriously, you guys constantly uploading every single day has been pushing me forward every day. I'm learning new things from you guys, especially brother Neo and Dipsy and Steel. You guys have been dropping complete gems these past couple of weeks. My brother Steel, shout out to you, man. Like you have single-handedly brought me closer to God. I'm a Muslim, but I'm a Christian as well. We do believe in Jesus. We do believe in the Old Testament. And the lessons that you pick up from the Bible are extremely fruitful, especially from brothers such as brother Steele, who has been dropping absolute knowledge. I hope you brothers all go check out his channel. Brother Steele has been absolutely fantastic. There's been some verses that he's mentioned to me which have absolutely changed my life. And I never believed that would be possible. But some verses literally speak to your soul. So shout out to you, brother Neo. Shout out to you, brother Steele. You've brought me very close to God, brother Steele. I have to thank you endlessly. And I believe this time on this streak, I think it's probably going to be one of my longest streaks because I know who I have with me. I have the Semen Retention Network and I have God by my side. So if you have God by your side, it becomes impossible for lustful desires to take over. Always remember to thank God, my brothers. Thank God for being alive for another day. Thank God for breathing. The topic of today's video is going to be how semen retention is extremely difficult in today's society. And the title of today's video is going to be called How Society Sets You Up to Fail on Semen Retention. Society has been set up in such a way where the majority of men have literally lost their purpose. Society has set up men for failure, essentially. Whether it's being addicted to vices, being addicted to entertainment, being addicted to lustful desires. Society sets you up for failure, my brothers. It literally wants you depleted. It wants you wandering the earth with no purpose. It wants you drained, my brothers, because society understands that if the men are weak, they can easily be controlled. And it even goes back to ancient Rome. Ancient Rome collapsed on itself because the civilization ended up falling into vices and promiscuity and entertainment and luxury, which ended up destroying most men, which ended up destroying the vast majority of men. And this is what led ancient Rome to fall. Because it was contentment, it was comfort. And the Roman civilization collapsed on itself. Now, I've recently been reading a few case studies, especially by a particular, I believe he's an anthropologist. His name is called Westermarck. I think he's a German anthropologist. I'm not 100% sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Westermarck actually wrote a book on the history of marriage. And he's actually mentioned a few profound statements in his book. And he talks about how as civilization progresses, as society advances, promiscuity increases, prostitution increases, illegitimate children increase. And Westermarck actually links this back to how, as society has advanced, we've had more privacy. We've created towns and cities. We've created artificial cages. And throughout history, this was not normal in human civilization to have like mega cities and, large metropolises and, you know, very, very populated capital cities. It's almost like as if every single person is like trapped in their own sort of small artificial cage. And Westermarck actually calls this pseudo civilization because it's essentially a fake civilization that we've created. If you look back to our ancestors, where we lived out in nature, we were always in communal areas. We were never really bored. We always kept ourselves occupied in the community, whether it was through rituals, hunter-gathering, hunting prey. So essentially, ever since the industrial age came upon us, and as we advance into the technological age, Westermarck claims that as you have more access to privacy, promiscuity increases. It's an extremely pertinent point, my brothers. And in fact, he mentions that the rise of promiscuity and licentiousness and illegitimate children is in fact a side effect of civilization, a side effect of advanced civilizations. It's virtually impossible to separate the two. You can't have an advanced civilization, a civilization that has its own, where the majority of the population have their own privacy. You can't have a civilization that's so advanced without having the side effects of it. So Westermarck mentions that this is actually a side effect. The rise of promiscuity is actually a side effect of the advancement of civilization, which is extremely mind-blowing, brothers. You would think that as humans progress and as humans advance, you would think that we'd probably try to stray away from promiscuity, you know? We'd probably progress intellectually. But no. And there's actually many thinkers who actually mention a similar thing, such as Gibbon, Durant, Toynbee, and Sorokin, all mention the same thing. So society has literally set people up for failure because it's the rise of the privacy we have nowadays, where you can just be confined in your own little room and no one has any idea what you're doing, what you're up to. And you can just fall into your vices, whether it's through smoking, through watching the websites, through entertainment, And in fact, it's even created parasocial relationships where the vast majority of relationships now are online. It's very rare for people to actually be meeting outside in the real world. So it's really important, my brothers, that we take awareness of this. And we understand that all of us brothers in the Semen Retention Network, we need to understand that society is set up the average man to fail. And I strongly believe it's our job in the Semen Retention Network to spread this message. My brothers, I hope this message has been extremely fruitful for you, and I hope you've learned something from this video. I will be dropping a lot of knowledge in the future, so each time you listen to these videos, you'll be gaining something fruitful from it. So my brothers, I hope this video has benefited you tremendously, and I will see you in the next video. It's South Speaks, and I'm signing out.